Yeah, I see you, Mike. Relax.
Hi.
Amber, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing good. It's pouring rain up here in Canada, so hopefully everybody's staying indoors. How's it going over there?
Likewise. It's been raining all day and storming, and I'm in Orlando, the sunshine state. So, and it was sunny, so we're getting the same kind of weather.
That's crazy. Well, we'll get right down to it, guys. This is Amber Nova. She's our guest today here on the Degenerates. I want to thank her for coming on, taking the time out of her busy schedule to sit down with guys like us. So thank you for that. And we're gonna jump right in here, my dear. So your passion for wrestling. Where did your passion come from? Sorry to cut you off there.
No, you're fine. So, nice to meet you virtually for the first time,
Yeah.
and thanks for having me on the podcast.
No problem.
So my passion for wrestling began the same way my passion for classic cars began. It was all my dad. I've been watching wrestling with my dad growing up, watching him work on classic cars, and that's how I just got into everything. So
That's amazing.
Girl, I guess.
Awesome, awesome. A lot of our parents were into the old time wrestling, so that's a good thing. They included us in it. So, so we'll move on here. Where did you grow up? We see your profile, Italian, Irish. Everybody sees it. They want to know where you grew up and how did it impact your career.
So I was born in Jersey. My parents born and raised in Jersey their whole life. Thankfully, I don't have that Jersey accent, and I grew up in Beaufort, South Carolina.
Okay, that's awesome. And how did it impact your life, your career? Sorry, where you grew up?
So I grew up in the Low Country, right near Hilton Head Island, Savannah, Georgia. So WWE would come and do events at the Civic Center there in Savannah. So I'd go and watch Randy Orton. I saw Batista. I saw all those guys growing up as a little girl. I'd make posters. Rey Mysterio. It was good. I didn't grow up in like a big city town because it's right outside of there. But being in the Low Country, there's not much opportunity. So, I worked on classic cars with my dad, and I was a former EMT. Really, where I'm from, the main career opportunities are the medical field or the Marine base of Parris Island, where Lacey Evans happens to be from the same town as me. She was a Marine on Parris Island. My dad was a mechanic and worked on the air station. And, and I was an EMT, and I did medical transport.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And we know in the world we need more of that right now than ever. So that's an amazing story.
Yeah, so thanks. I want to just give like a good shout out to all my firefighter partners, my former partners, my friends, my family. My brother-in-law is an EMT firefighter back home. Just everybody out there still fighting this fight. And just thank you to all of our healthcare heroes, because I know firsthand what that's like. And then I have a lot of close friends and family out there right now.
100%. That's sweet of you. They're probably working all kinds 24 hours a day.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy right now. Hopefully we can get back to normal soon. So tell us about your journey so far, about your wrestling journey, your car journey, your EMT journey, if you like. Tell us about your journey so far.
So my journey began about 5 years ago.
Okay.
Actually, 5 years ago, May, I moved to Orlando with just a Nova and a dream.
Yeah.
To pursue pro wrestling. I watched it growing up, like I said, as a kid. I watched my dad work on classic cars. I did the same thing. I did my research, and I was like, okay, what's it really going to take? I looked up some pro wrestling schools in Orlando. I knew Orlando was where I wanted to go because of the WWE Performance Center, because Impact Wrestling, who I've worked for, did their tapings at Universal. There's so much opportunity in the Florida scene. So I moved to Orlando completely by myself with a Nova and a dream. I started training, and I've traveled the world. Last year alone, I went to London, Panama, and South Africa for the first time. Got to wrestle there. So it's been incredible. I was doing more international tours that were set up, but due to the world and the situation, those have all been canceled right now. And I would have been in Panama wrestling for GWE.
Wow, I know we're all a little stuck, but that's amazing. It's an amazing journey so far. It's incredible. Wrestlers always have the most amazing journey, and you guys all seem to end up in Florida, which is awesome because that's the home base right now, right? And you want to be as close as there, I guess, to as possible. So let's move on here. What do you do outside of wrestling other than cars? We know you're into the old school cars. So give us a couple more options.
Outside of wrestling, I do hot yoga. I work out like crazy. I was until like everything slowed down. So, I'm doing my at-home workouts and I'm maintaining But outside of wrestling, like I do a lot of fitness modeling. I'm a brand ambassador for Nutrex Research and a few other fitness supplement companies, things like that. Fitness wear. So I do modeling. And then in my downtime, yeah, like I said, I really miss hot yoga right now. Orlando Power Yoga. I can't wait to come back.
Well, hopefully we see it soon.
Yeah. Okay, Alex. Oh, and Justin from the Wrestling Classic. I see some people jumping on, I know. What's up, guys?
Guys, how are you? All right. So, where have you traveled? I know you were just talking about traveling, and where'd you travel and wrestle, and which one was your favorite place so far? So, if you have to go back right after the quarantine, first place you want to wrestle, where is it?
Right after?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a tough one. So right after, I do have Panama that I should be going to next out of country. In country, in Florida, my next lineup would probably be an I Believe in Wrestling event. Unfortunately, WrestleCon, WrestleMania, all of that was canceled. I was hoping it would only be postponed. But, at WrestleCon, I had a lot of things set up with a friend of mine, former WWE superstar and now Longwood Mayor Matt Morgan. I don't know if you're familiar. You probably know Matt. Me and him had a few events in the Central Florida area. We've been on the news. We promoted them a few times, and that was an I Believe in Wrestling event that got canceled. And, with WrestleCon, a lot of things, WrestleMania got canceled. So it's really been just playing it year by year, day by day kind of thing. Before we can start scheduling and rescheduling our events that we had lined up, we have to see what's going to happen. But Panama is definitely first on the list. I know I'm also talking with South Africa and going back there again. And I'm really excited, and that's where I would have been wrestling right now.
Well, two lucky places to have you once the pandemic's over.
Yeah.
All right. So we know you were in Impact Wrestling for the fans that don't know out there. What was your experience like in Impact Wrestling?
It was incredible. I got to work with some really badass women. Gail Kim was a huge help, and she was one of my agents. And, watching her growing up, she's just amazing. Taya Valkyrie, I would love another match with her. She is talented, and she's on my list to go back for. And I got a lot of really great women, but yeah, just to think about, Impact was fantastic. My first match was with Allie, who's now in AWE, Evil Bunny.
That's awesome. I've watched your matches in Impact. I've been watching Impact, so I actually did a show with them at Destiny. But we're not here about me. We're here about you. So that's a whole different story. Give me a highlight match in your career. So for you, highlight match, one of them. It can be anywhere you've wrestled, Indies, NXT, Impact. Give me one that really highlight reel for you.
So let's see. I would definitely say my first match at NXT with Nikki Cross. That crazy bat. That was a really great match for me. Also my second match at NXT, I got to wrestle two of the top women from Japan, which was Kairi Sane and Io Shirai. And my tag partner, you may have seen her last night on AEW, Rebel. So those were really good highlights if I had to think of some top matches that I've had.
So if you guys want to check those out, they're on WWE Network. They're also on YouTube. You can check them out. All right?
Thanks for the plug. Yeah, you're right. They
are. All right. So next thing is, how did you come up with your name, your gimmick? So Amber Nova. A couple of people actually messaged me. They want to know how you came up with your gimmick and your name.
Honestly, it was easy. It's really part of who I really am. Back home, Hilton Head Island, Beaufort, South Carolina. I was driving around in this Nova. It was my first Nova, both 73. And people would see me at the gas station or wherever, and they'd say, "Oh, hey, you're the chick with the Nova. You're the girl with the Nova." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm the Nova Girl." And it was just a nickname. "Oh, you're Nova Girl," So when I first started wrestling, it was just Nova Girl, and obviously Amber Nova. That's just who I am. It's who I've always been. And like I said, I moved to Orlando with a Nova and a dream, and it's pretty simple. I mean, it's just who I really am. It's part of my identity, not just a character I made up. It's what I was born into. Classic cars and Need for Speed, Fast and Furious.
Yeah. So organically, it just fit you like a glove. Just fit you. That's awesome. Yeah. And it's a cool gimmick. There's a lot of people that in wrestling today. I'm not putting anybody on blast. A lot of people that copy gimmicks, right? And you have like the Amber Novas, the Zicky Dices, the John Moxleys. You have the original gimmicks that really attract the fans, and that's how we all grasp towards you guys. And it's incredible in the passion we see from you guys as well as the fans. So I really enjoy it. So thank you.
I really appreciate that. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like just originality, and yeah. I mean, I'm one of a kind. I really feel like I am. I don't see girls out there with a wrench in their hand all the time, or tire marks across their gear, or change their own oil, or have that kind of style to them. And I try to incorporate that even in like the names of my moves, like my finisher. I call it a Nova Driver. It's a wheelbarrow stunner. Or my signature move I did to Nikki Cross, which is the head scissor. I hook her head scissor turnbuckle smash, and I call it the tune-up. And I'm always like, yeah, I'm ready to give this tune-up, and that's what I do. And so I really incorporate just things like that to be original. And I see a lot of people doing kind of the same thing. So I feel my best advice to a lot of people, because they ask me, I just say, be yourself, incorporate the just being different and having your own identity and character. It's so important.
Oh, 100% be yourself, right? That'll bring you to new heights. So that's the best part about it is being yourself, and you'll succeed. For everybody listening out there, all right? You heard it from Amber first. So give me okay. How was your NXT experience? Obviously, people want to know. A lot of my friends got excited. They heard they've watched you from NXT, so they really asked me how was your NXT experience? Sorry.
Yeah, my NXT experience was one of a kind. I mean, it was very similar to Impact being my first television match.
Yeah.
But just the trainers there, they have that platform to make you the superstar you can become, like, and build you up to that. And it's like seeing bright lights, And I wasn't blinded by it though, and it just inspired me. And I think I did the feedback I got, I did a very good job.
Okay.
And I can't wait to come back with more opportunity. Unfortunately, with the world the way it is now, things are really put on hold.
Yeah, it's at a standstill, right? So it's gonna be crazy once the pandemic ends. You're just gonna see all these signings. I feel it. I know it. You're gonna see all these signings and explosions in all the company. And I've said it for the last few years. Wrestling has blossomed. It's back to maybe not where the Attitude Era was, but it's getting there. In fan-wise, I don't mean product-wise. Fan-wise, me personally, I like seeing you guys technical. I'm more of a technical guy. I like the professionalism in the ring. Yeah. But it's coming back, right? And you see it in the viewership, and you see it, the fans on social media, and how crazy it is. Like Twitter's its own pandemic to me. You just see an explosion, right? So it's great. Give us a dream match, dream opponent, anybody. NXT, AEW, Impact, WWE, retired Hall of Famers, legends, you name it. Pick your dream match and why.
Man, dream match. I'm really into the mixed match challenges that WWE was doing.
Yeah.
So if we're talking total dream, it'd be Eddie Guerrero. I've gotten the opportunity to learn from Hector. He's come down to the Team Vision Dojo, and Hector has taught seminars. He's been on shows with me. He's such a great person. Just learning from him, I could only get like a taste of what Eddie might be like, or would have been like. And so that would definitely be a dream match. I was watching Ray this past Monday on Raw, and I was really, I'm always impressed. He looks so good in the ring. So I really like lucha style, and because I'm so petite, I like to try to use a lot of lucha style with my size advantage, because most people are really bigger than me. But dream match, man, there's so many amazing women. I've always been intrigued by Luna Vachon, Medusa, Lita, Trish Stratus, Victoria, AJ Lee. Like the list can go on of all these amazing women. I love Sasha. She'd be great. Right now, I really like Bianca Belair. Man, she could toss me around, but I bet I could do some fun things with her. Just the size advantage, like what I could try to incorporate. But yeah, the list would just go on and on. I mean, I grew up watching WCW. I was a big fan with Goldberg, Sting, Booker T. Those were my guys. A lot more of that style. And Man, dream match. Yeah, I guess I named a few right for a dream match.
Yeah,
That's a
no, you
lot.
did. Definitely did. You named our homegirl Trish Stratus, so we're happy.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, on that note, WCW, I was a huge fan as well. I still have the action figures from the NWO originals in the boxes. So,
Really?
yeah, a quick fact for you, just personally, I still have them in the Sting, Hogan, Hall, and Nash. So it's crazy. I do have
Oh,
Chris
cool.
too, and Scott Steiner, so it's crazy. Um, so what's next? What's next for Amber Nova after the pandemic? I know I asked you where for traveling and stuff, but what's next overall? So hopefully before the year ends, we can get back to normal. What's the near future hold?
What's next for Amber Nova? I'm just gonna keep the same drive that I have.
Okay.
I'm gonna continue this journey. It's getting really bumpy, but not just for me, for everybody. And I'm just gonna, yeah, keep that motivation, keep that drive. Hopefully, when all this does become safe and we can hold events again, I'm gonna go back to my international tours that I had scheduled, and I hope I think that wrestling's going to be even stronger. The crowds, the people, we're going to come together when the time is safe and right.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stick around.
Oh, 100%. And I can't wait to see that as well when the crowds come back and the explosions in the arena. It's gonna be fantastic, and hopefully they take advantage of that, right?
Yeah, I think they're doing a really good job as it is with no crowds.
Yeah, me too. I think both companies. You always got the people that badmouth WWE, badmouth AEW, and NXT. I think all three are doing a fantastic job, which creates a lot of opportunity for independent wrestlers, right? I know what happened a few Wednesdays ago with Vince laying everyone off, but it's just what happened, right? But it just there's more opportunity now. We got to look at the positives. You got New Japan, Ring of Honor, and it's just so explosive, and I can't wait to see what it holds. Just like you, I can't wait to see where you go next, and I'm looking forward to it all. I'll be honest with you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
No problem.
Nothing negative from me. Like, I think all the TV companies are doing really well with no crowds. They're doing
Yeah.
the best they can.
100%. So, attend it off. I want to thank you for being a guest and taking your time to join us today. Hopefully, once the world gets back to normal, you will come back and be a guest on the show. Thank you, Amber Nova. She's going to be signing off.
And guys, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. Stay safe.
You too.
Bye.